understand. And I lay down some information here, as I always do on paper, to read to you so that it can be succinct when it comes over the air. So you're in the middle of watching me put information down that comes to me that I write down, because I know that if I don't get it in the moment, it's gone. So as I'm inspired to write it, I put it down to read it to you. Now, the primary purpose of mind control is for the subjugation and manipulation of sentient beings, which means all consciousness. When you start trying to manipulate humans, it means that you are trying to manipulate life. All that is alive and conscious is a product of mind. Intelligence is the operative dynamic of mind. It is the antenna, the radar, and the processor of experience. And its proper expression and operation is based upon the integrity of the biomechanism and the design of its internal circuitry. Distort or pervert the biomechanisms that filter experience into the working dynamics of intelligence. When you distort or pervert them, you distort and pervert intelligence, the intent of intelligence. You see, everything that you do is based upon an energy that you bring into life called intent. And intent is something that is so subtle, something that is so intangible, that unless you bracket it, you can never control it in such a way as to not have it be a danger to you. So the powers that be not only mind control you for the purpose of having you robotically act in a certain way, but to control the very vortex, the very well, the very estuaries of intent. And you will understand how powerful that word is, what intent means. When you filter out the dynamics of reality, which then processes itself into truth, when you filter the dynamics of reality from a clarity and understanding of all the factors that constitute truth, higher intelligence becomes blocked. Higher intelligence is based on higher abilities of interpretation. Let me say that again. Higher intelligence is based upon higher abilities of interpretation. The potential for the highest degrees of interpretive intelligence is the inheritance of man. And this factor is known to those who seek to keep us trapped in a construct of awareness that constitutes what I call a light code lockdown. Temperaments and abilities to function mentally are called states of mind. All mind control is the control of the spirit, because the dynamics of mind is a constituent of the spirit. Check?
Check.
When you attempt to control the mind, you must control the spirit. So, the primary centerpiece of mind control is to A, get people to reference spirit only through a particularized, fragmented embodiment of the mind. For example, Jesus Christ, Krishna, Muhammad, Confucius. If you didn't get that, let me say it again. To get people to reference spirit only through a particularized, fragmented embodiment of mind. And B, have this embodied spirit appear and speak, as well as perform actions and make miracles and statements consistent with what humans already instinctively and intuitively knew internally, or knew on a non-specific basis. So when you particularize what is non-specific, you have now created a containment for the spirit. Again, let me say that to you. Now, it sounds a little bit ethereal, but follow me. Why? Because it's necessary for you to understand how devious and how deep mind control goes. Everybody got an idea of mind control being a chip being put in your head. That's part of it. But even the chip can be bypassed because there are people living with bullets in them. Why do you live with a bullet in your skull? Because the body at the time had the ability to bypass the blockage and still function in life. So in other words, you must, in mind control, get people to falsely identify this fragmented embodiment of themselves as the true manifestation of what was previously known only to be themselves. So who you are has now been teleported out of you to become an embodiment that is separated from you, and thus take away your ability to know yourself from inside out. Once you are been told who you are from outside in, mind control begins. So take the focus of the intent to find the true spiritual self outside from the in. Take the intent to look within for yourself, because normally when you want to know something and you're pondering over something, you go into yourself. Your mind is constantly going trying to solve problems. Take the focus of attention outside from the self and place it to something outside of the self. It means that you look outside yourself for your solutions. And that's exactly what religion has done. It is the biggest edifice of mind control going today. In fact, it is through religion that most of the governmental agencies learn through the Jesuits how to set up the mind control. This type of programming distorts and disorients the evolutionary compass of human spiritual matrix. Let me say that again. This type of programming, which is the spiritual programming, spiritual containment, distorts and disorients the evolutionary compass. What is that? Somebody tell me. What is an evolutionary compass? That which guides you. That which allows you to discern by instinct and intuition, because that's a development. You practice at your instinct. You practice at intuition. When you take away a child's ability to imagine, and in turn place Teletubbies and Pokemon in place of where they would imagine that creature from their own source in space, you have allowed an entity into the space, or to colonize your awareness, or colonize your child's awareness, so that now they cannot imagine anything outside the context that they have been given to imagine in. This is where it gets deep. This is the mind fuck. Operation mind fuck.
Dr. Valentine, can you please move the monitor from in front of your beautiful face?
Well, how about I do this? How's this?
That's good.
Is better? You want to know how important mind control is to this devil? And this is just the half of it, not even that. Operation Mind Control. This book is $75. By Walter H. Boward, B-O-W-A-R-D. It's a Bible for the way mind control is being conducted today, but it still has not yet gotten to the place where I have taken, mind control. Mind control has gone beyond the stages that they've been giving you to a whole new place where only few are going to be able to follow. And today is where you're going to understand where mind control is going. The process of diverting the light of attention externally away from the core center of deity and self-recognition allows the adversary, or the matrix, to alter or manipulate and change the characteristics of that spirit embodiment to serve the will of the beast. By changing man's God focus away from him and herself, and giving that focus a body and a face, as well as a personality and a hometown to recognize as a God apart, man became predisposed to serve the perception of an authority outside and greater than himself. Once you took the okie doke that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior, the rest was easy. Because if you really believe a God came down to save your tired ass, waited here 3 goddamn years, and then left your ass, now you're supposed to get the shit together because I came. And I left you the gospel. And I left you these preachers, these good preachers, these poor righteous teachers, as my examples. Yet still I have edifices made of pure gold. I have cities called the Vatican. I have church temples like down on Crenshaw, going up at $30 and $40 million for a church. I am buying my pastor airplanes, Rolls Royces. When y'all gonna wake up? Christianity is a business. It ain't got shit to do with your spirit or your soul. Just like doctors, they're there to pimp you of your attention. They are there to divert your intent at self-development. Because of this, humanity has been conditioned to serve masters by an indoctrinated process that tricked us into being believers in an all-powerful deific figure that is a thing apart from ourselves. This predisposed us to suggestions which made us susceptible and weak to authoritative figures who gave the appearance of being deific. The preempting of human spiritual power is the primary goal of mind control. The preempting of human spiritual power is the primary goal of mind control. All methods employed is primarily for the disruption of light code impulses. All methods of mind control is primarily for the disruption of light code impulses that are condensed and transduced through the various configurations of starlight. Now, starlight means there are thousands, millions of suns that act as matrices, that act as configuration points. Like you have a constellation, for instance. You have a constellation that looks like this. It looks like this because now you draw this, then you draw a horse, and you got what? Sagittarius. What they are telling you is that these symbols, these signs, are points where light becomes a circuit. And from that circuit, it beams and bounces to another circuit. And from that to another circuit. And what we have is a configuration of light matrices that when the force of the light goes through it, it sets up a pattern of consciousness that you participate in. So as the light from the central core galaxy, or the light from the central core universe in our harmonic universe, as we get the filter of lights from different parts of our own first dimensional universe, we are being given triangulated light codes that we must awaken to so that we can get the fuck out of here. But we keep staying here. We are like super seniors. We just don't want to graduate. We keep staying here doing the same damn thing, getting up. Imagine, Donald Rajmama said 66 trillion years old, and the only thing you can show for this is a goddamn 9-to-5 job.
So they're rules you watch.
And a damn rule. The only thing you got to show for being 66 trillion years in the flesh is a damn 9-to-5 job. Could you imagine that?
And stress.
Who have we become as a result of our ignorance? And they said it in the Bible. My people perish. Again, the preempting of human spiritual power is the primary goal of mind control. All methods employed is primarily for the disruption of light code impulses, which come to us through the configuration of starlight. Starlight, in the form of ambient, indirect, long and short distance wave broadcasting, come on, by day and by night, the moon as well. All are light-coded transmissions containing frequencies based on cosmic instructions, which interfaces with our own microcosmic light-based bodies to transfer, trigger, and enhance the evolutionary mandates of our species' own unique species programming. Mind control, as it relates to the galactic conspiracy and managed and carried out by the global conspiracy, who you call the Illuminati, is the attempt to control the unique energy as possessed and exemplified by the human spirit. We are totally unique. We are like diamonds in the rough. They know it. Everybody wants a piece of this. Everybody wants to interface with us because we can leave out of here when we want to. We are the only creature in this particular reality that can create with our thoughts. Everybody else has stooped to external technologies. You are the only one that can affect with thought. Why do you think they want to mind control you? They know that if you learn to knit together the other strands of your DNA, that you will learn how to harness the force that's already in you, and then thought will become an instantaneous creative thing. Yeah. You can see how weak your thoughts have become, that you can't broadcast them outside of yourself because your perception of yourself is so hard and so limited. So you can't cast forth thoughts and have the universe respond to your own matrix and have the universe created for you anymore. You cannot broadcast anymore. Why? Because you have convinced yourself that you gotta wait for somebody to save your ass. Okay? And that you have done nothing to develop that internal dynamic that is your inheritance. The ability to think and create is yours. You can feel that now. I can tell you, close your eyes, shut off the light, wait for a moment, think about the best sex you ever had, and girls will start getting wet, dicks will start going up, and wouldn't be about nobody talking to nobody or messing or touching nobody. All you gotta do is think. Brothers, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. Get kind of uncomfortable in the pants. All you have to do is think. And if you get hungry, or you remember a taste that you had, mom was cooking or something, mouth start watering, where do you think that comes from? Ain't nobody put no food in your mouth. Your thoughts did it. Your thoughts can alter your mood. You can read thoughts on people's faces. Just imagine how you can self-destruct based on your thought. Yesterday was a prime example of how thought can be used to kill you. Because all you have to do is tell somebody in the doctor's office that they found that they had HIV. And then the mind starts to kill the body immediately based upon the programming that it was given. Now imagine that turned outward with the proper intent and with a body that has harmonized with its cosmic energies. What you could do. Our higher blueprint and energy. The human spirit. Now check this out. The human spirit and its shadow, the human soul, that contains the blueprint for our species evolution, is that human spirit that everybody is after. The shadow of the spirit is the soul. Now the only way that spirit could manifest as the flesh is if there was a broadcast of spirit and an interference with the light where spirit became so dense that it cast a shadow, and that shadow had something that it could bounce off of, which we call the third dimension. Now I know that was some eclectic shit. You break it down, get the tape from the brother, and you can read about it, and you can then understand what I'm saying to you from the hieroglyphics of it. This blueprint and the energy that contains it is presently laying semi-dormant, trapped in a perception created by the lower-based activities of a human perceptual experience. Our higher perception as an evolutionary species is presently trapped in what is called a somatic soul.
Oh, come on.
You got to get my tape. Brother might have it. Do you have the one I dealt on the somatic depth
In L.A.?
in LA? I didn't give you that.
Why we died.
You got the one that I got from Light Code Transmissions 2. You all order Light Code Transmissions 2 from the brother. Light Code Transmissions 2 talks about the somatic body and the fact that we do not die a natural death.
That's right.
The death that we die is called a somatic death. It means that the cells that is dying, the cells that become diseased, are the cells that were created by your trauma. The cells of your body, the cells of the three-dimensional body was based on trauma. It is not based on the original germ cell. The soma cell is based on appetites, on lower energy dynamics, on lower addictions. And the cells that we make as a result of our experiences in third dimension creates a somatic shell within the body that suffocates and stifles the original germ cell. And because of our somatic experience and the fact that we have a somatic soul, we die as a result. The original germ cell does not eat. The original germ cell does not need any kind of sustenance. It is the original prototypical cell that was created at the beginning of the beginnings. It is constituted of the same materials as the sun. So does the sun need to eat?
Nope.
That is what sperm is. Sperm, when you take it and break it down into its alchemic solutions, turns out to be the same as gold.